Good day, students. Welcome to our virtual class in Social Studies, grade 7A and 7B students. Your teacher here, Miss Michelle Joy. This video will serve as a recap or makeup class, especially for the students who weren't able to join us in our class in Google Meet Live this morning. Before we start with our topic, let's have a short recap or review of the last topic that we have discussed before our midterm assessment, and that topic is about Buddhism. What is Buddhism? Buddhism is a major world religion, or in a better sense, philosophy. It is the fourth largest religion of the world and has about 300 million people living by it. It explains the purpose of life, injustices, and inequality around the world. It also helps people by providing a way of life that will lead to true happiness. This week, we only have one objective of the lesson, and that is students must be able to know about Lord Buddha's life before and after the foundation of Buddhism. So today, class, we are going to know what is the life before Lord Buddha became Lord Buddha, and we are going to know what happened in his life after he became enlightened. So class, our topic for this week is about Introduction to Lord Buddha's Life, and these are the words to learn. Please repeat after me so you can still practice your reading skills and your speaking skills even if you're just at home. Let's start reading now. Number 1, predicted. Number 2, founder. Number 3, suffering. Number 4, meditation. And number 5, nirvana. Now, class, let us discuss these words one by one so that later on when we go through our discussion, you will already have an idea about our topic for today. Predicted means foreseen, anticipated. Prophesied, foretold, expected, forecast, predictable, foreshadowed, prepared for, and boded. So class, when you say predicted, something that might happen or might not happen in the future. Some people believe that predictions are going to happen, but still some people do not believe that predictions are going to happen. Next word, founder. What are other words for founders? Founders, creators, sink, fall, cave in, go to the bottom, tumble, go down, pioneers, originators, leaders. But the meaning of the founder in this topic that we have is about creator, pioneer, originators, or leader. The founder of Buddhism, or the person who created or who started or pioneered the Buddhism religion is Prince Siddhartha Gautama, and he founded this religion after he became Lord Buddha. Again, Buddha means enlightenment. Next, the third word is suffering. What is suffering? The bearing or undergoing of pain, hurt, distress or stress or tribulation. The fourth word is meditation. What is meditation, class? Meditation is a mental discipline by which the practitioner attempts to get beyond the reflexive thinking mind into a deeper state of relaxation or awareness. So class, doing meditation will give us a lot of benefit, and one of those is health benefit. And the last word that we have for today is about nirvana. So nirvana is a place of perfect peace and happiness, like heaven. In Hinduism and Buddhism, nirvana is the highest state that someone can attain, a state of enlightenment, meaning a person's individual desires and suffering go away. But remember, class, in the practice of Hinduism and Buddhism, nirvana only happens when a person dies. So these are the 5 words that we are going to encounter all throughout our discussion. Let's read one more time. Please repeat after me. Prediction, founder, suffering, meditation, nirvana.
Where's Ananda?
He's in the shed, crying. He thinks you're going to die.
Go and get him. Oh, I'm tired, Kisagutami, and my body feels like an old cart held together with straps. Ananda, all of us sooner or later have to leave what we love. But Master, I am not ready for you to die. You don't need me. I've told you all I can. And what I've told you is like the ocean. The further you go in, the deeper it gets. But I can hardly swim yet. Then let's start together at the shore. When we die, we are reborn. Our good actions in one life are rewarded in the next. When I was reborn into this life, my father, King Suddhodana, had the highest hopes for me.
Wise Asita, is Prince Gautama destined for greatness?
This child has all the signs of a great being. He has lived many lives, each more noble and truthful than the last. He will become either a great ruler or a teacher of great truths.
What will decide it?
He will decide.
I want him to be a great king like me. And I think he will have no need to leave this palace.
My father created a perfect world for me for over 20 years.
The prince will take his walk along this path today. Make sure there are no dead flowers.
Your Highness.
The prince's horse is lame, Your Highness.
Then stable him elsewhere until he recovers. This is something the prince need not know about.
My father gave me everything I could possibly desire. I had no need to ask for anything, but there were some things that even my father couldn't control.
Prepare the horses. I'd like to take a ride. In all these years, Channa, I've never gone beyond that wall. Who has painted his hair white? Why does he move so slowly? Is it a dance?
He is old.
What is old?
It happens to all of us in time. The skin dries, the hair loses its color, and the body becomes weak. That is old.
It happens to all of us? I don't like his singing.
He's not singing. He is sick and in pain.
What is sick?
His body is complaining. All bodies, rich or poor, ignorant or wise, can feel this way.
All bodies can feel this way? How can he sleep with all that noise around him?
This is a dead man. He is not asleep. His life has gone.
Is this the only dead man in the world?
I'm afraid not, my prince. Death comes to every living thing.
Take me back, Channa.
My son, I've got wonderful news for you.
Why didn't you tell me about life outside?
I wanted the palace to be your life always. I wanted you to be happy.
And I was. But now I can't ever be happy again.
Of course you can.
Knowing that you, my dear father, will die. That my wife may get sick. That Channa and I will grow old and weak.
This is not the time to think about death. I have wonderful news. You have a son.
I have a son.
He was beautiful, And of course I wanted to be glad, but now I knew that he too would have to suffer sickness, old age, and finally death.
What are you?
A seeker
Of what?
of the only thing in life that doesn't wither and die.
And what is that?
Truth.
And have you found it?
Not yet. But since leaving home and giving everything away, I've felt more at peace.
I'm not free to leave the palace. I have a duty to my father's kingdom.
But if you seek and find the truth, your kingdom will be infinitely greater.
I decided to leave that night. And like you, Ananda, I cried. It is painful to be separated from those you love. But I knew that when I had found what I was looking for, I would return to share it with them. Channa took me to the forest, and I exchanged my palace clothes for simple ones. I cut my hair and then told Channa to tell my father that from now on, I would live without a home, in search of perfect peace of mind. I spent a year with 2 elderly masters of meditation. They helped me to calm and train my mind. But I knew I hadn't found what I was looking for. I moved on. I met 5 other men, all about my age. They too were searching.
I have studied meditation with 2 masters, but we sat in the shade.
Pushing our bodies to the limits gives us spiritual energy.
When you deny your body what it most wants, you set your mind free for higher things. I desire comfort and warmth, and he loves to talk.
I desire sleep.
What do you desire most?
I always seem to be hungry.
Well then, you know what you must do without.
I starved myself for 6 years. By the end, I was eating 3 sesame seeds a day. And yet, the only thing that I could be certain about was that I was close to death. As I prepared to die, I thought of my son and remembered a moment when I was about his age, the meaning of which I suddenly understood. It was the palace ploughing match. Everyone else was watching a festival, but I was seeing something different. Sweating men and animals, blind milk-white grubs being exposed to the sun, cutworms and insects. Everyone else was enjoying themselves, but I saw just suffering and death. I sat there for a long time, feeling very still. Only in that stillness could I see how things really were. This memory filled me with energy. If I had already felt something of the peace I was seeking when just a child, well-fed and clothed, then I certainly did not need to starve myself to find it again. I decided to eat properly once more. Much to the disgust of my companions.
I shall not get up from here until I found the truth I'm seeking. That special awareness, enlightenment.
But the mind has a terrible enemy. His name is Mara, and he seeks to tempt and destroy. First, he sent his beautiful daughters.
Tempt him, distract him, make him desire you.
Mara knew that if I found enlightenment, I would go on to tell others how to escape his evil power. I had to find that moment of stillness again.
So, you ignore my daughters. Well, you shall feel the fury of my army. Be plagued by your worst nightmare, Gautama! Do you think you are ready for supreme enlightenment? Gautama, are you so sure you have it in you? Supreme enlightenment. Gautama, are you worthy enough?
But as I touched the earth spoke.
He is worthy.
And I saw my hundreds of past lives. And I saw how what I had done in one life influenced the next. I saw life as a wheel. For some, always moving upwards. For others, always falling downwards. There was no escape from the wheel of birth, death, and rebirth. And no escape from the three poisons: hate, greed, and stupidity that kept the wheel turning. I realized that whether your life is easy or hard, you can't escape death. But suddenly, what I'd been searching for was revealed to me. If I did not fear death, death had no power. Watching the moon that long night, I slowly understood that the way to avoid suffering was to free yourself from wanting anyone or anything, and to be ready always to give and receive. I had found enlightenment. I had become a Buddha, an awoken one.
Let's go over your book now. So the topic is Introduction to Lord Buddha's Life. Please open your social studies book on page 90. Let's start reading. Lord Buddha's life started more than 2,500 years ago. He used to be a prince named Siddhartha. So class, Lord Buddha started his life 2,500 years ago. That's why in Buddhist calendar, it's 2,564 because this Buddhist calendar was made after Lord Buddha's death. Next, he was the only son of King Suddhodana and Queen Sri Mahamaya. They live in Kabilapur, a small town in Nepal. So plus he's the only son. They have a small kingdom in a small town called Kabilapur in the country of Nepal. One day, Prince Siddhartha sneaked out of the palace. Sneak out means he went out of the palace. He saw old people, sick people, and dead people. He realized that life was suffering after all. He then had faith to find a way to end suffering because he doesn't like his family to suffer. So one night, when he was 29 years old, he decided to leave the palace and became a monk. Actually, he became a monk for 2 years. He became a Hindu monk for 2 years. Open your social studies book on page 91 now. So to find a way to end suffering, monk Siddhartha did a lot of things. He studied with the best teachers, the best Hindu monks. He even tried torturing himself in many ways. And how? He did fasting until he was thin. Look at the picture in the left side. During that time, there were 5 ascetics taking care of him. So these were the 5 ascetics looking after him. They believed he was doing the right thing to get great knowledge. Still, Monk Siddhartha couldn't get enlightened. Monk Siddhartha realized that he was going the wrong way. He practiced meditation and did things the middle way. The 5 ascetics thought he had given up trying, so they left him. So Monk Siddhartha realized that he was going the wrong way. He thought that him not eating food is a wrong way to attain enlightenment. So he practiced meditation and did things the middle way. And so the 5 ascetics thought that he had already given up, okay, because he started eating. So they left him. Let us continue our discussion. So please open your social studies book on pages 92 to 93. So after 6 years in the monkhood, Monk Siddhartha finally became an enlightened being. That night, he was meditating under the Bodhi tree near the Neranchara river. It was the full moon night of the 6th lunar month. 35 years after his birth, Monk Siddhartha was born again as Lord Buddha. So after 6 years in the monkhood class, Monk Siddhartha finally became an enlightened being, and he was enlightened under the Bodhi tree near Neranchara river. And that night was the 9th of the 6th lunar month. So he meditated for 6 years. So when he reached 35 years after his birth, Monk Siddhartha Gautama was born again, but not as Siddhartha Gautama, but born again as Lord Buddha, which led to the foundation of Buddhism. Lord Buddha gave his first teaching to the 5 ascetics. The head ascetic, Kondava, got enlightened and he was ordained by the Lord Buddha as the first Buddhist monk. The 3 gems of Buddhism were completed for the first time. So what are these 3 gems of Buddhism? Let's read. They were Lord Buddha, the instructor or the teacher, Dhamma, his teachings, his philosophies, and Sangha, monks like nuns, devotees, and even followers like yourselves. So later, Buddhism became very popular in India, and not only in India by this time, but all throughout the world. Many people were ordained Buddhist monks. On the last page of our topic for today. So please open your social studies book on page 94. Lord Buddha spent 45 years teaching people around India and how to end or stop suffering. At the age of 80, he passed away in the town called Kusinara. His passing away is called Nirvana. That means he will not be born again. Okay, so he died at the age of 80. So he taught and preached about Buddhism for 40 years. And then when he reached the age of 80, he died in a small town called Kusinara. And his passing away is called Nirvana. When we say Nirvana, means everlasting happiness, peace. And that means that Lord Buddha will not be born again because he was already enlightened. Let's continue reading. Lord Buddha's last teaching was about the uncertainty of life. He told the monks to realize that and not to be careless. Living in a moderate way and practicing meditation would lead to true wisdom about life and end the suffering eventually. So Lord Buddha taught the Buddhist monks that we have to live by our means. We should not wish for the things we know we couldn't have, because if we wish for the things we cannot have, it's going to make us suffer. Now class, it's time for us to answer our book on pages 90 to 94. Of course, this activity is only for today. Take note. Please take a picture of your social studies book, pages 90 to 94, after answering the activities and upload it on the social studies album I created in your line group. Good luck and thank you so much. If you have a question or you want to share your idea or knowledge about our topic for today, please feel free to send me a message or call me in my personal line account. Well, I'll see you again next week. Please stay safe. Don't go out of your houses. Thank you very much.